Hello friends, I'm WIldsmith, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Every Moment Holy from Rabbit Room Press. Okay, so this is a little bit of a different video for my channel. The normal, I'm usually reviewing Bibles and talking about the Bible, and this is a project called Every Moment Holy from Rabbit Room Press and a writer named Douglas McKelvey, and they're liturgies for everyday life. Volume 1 has been out for a few years, and I've had it for a while. Really, really cool. Just the ups and downs, moment by moment of everyday life, liturgies written for that, for you to connect with God in those moments. And now Volume 2 has just been released, and it is more focused on death and grief and finding hope in the midst of a season where death and grief is right there around you. And so I wanted to share about these just because the first one has meant so much to me, and I really am excited to have the second one. So, and just to tell you a story about how this became an important part of my life, I knew about Every Moment Holy, and I thought, okay, I need to get a copy of that. I want to check that out. It had been out for a couple of years, but then a little over a year ago, I went through something personally just really traumatic. And I remember Becca and I were at our friends Matt and Kat's house on a Tuesday night, and we were just spending time with them, and they were loving on us, and we were weeping together, and we were just going through it. They were there for us as really great friends. And the next morning, I got a text message from Kat, and Kat had this beautiful prayer in this text message that she sent to me. And as I read these words, I was just floored by it. I wept as I read it, and I found out that it was from this book. Kat had taken a liturgy from this book that's, I think, about the loss of something from fire or flood or storm, I think. And she'd kind of adapted it a little bit for the situation that I was going through. And it met me in that moment, and it allowed me to process what I was feeling in a really healthy way and take it to God. And so I immediately ordered this book and have spent so much time with it since then. Just there's liturgies for mundane things like doing the laundry and going to work and changing diapers. I mean, just stuff that is everyday in and out. But there's also some really beautiful moments in it. And then this new version is focused on those difficult times, which I think is really important. And so really well written, beautifully executed, meaningful take on prayer and connecting with God in the moments of life. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to share it with you about. It's really cool. It's really become a meaningful part of my library for sure. So I wanted to share more about this with you. This is Every Moment Holy from Rabbit Room Press and writer Douglas McKelvey. Okay, here's the first two volumes of Every Moment Holy. You have Volume 1. This was released 3.5 years ago, and then the new one is Volume 2. You see down here it says that this is death, grief, and hope. So these are really beautifully done. Kind of I think this is a faux leather material overboard. This is like indented there. Really beautiful spine. It says Every Moment Holy with Doug McKelvey's last name on there. On the back you have this little mark. That's the Rabbit Room Press insignia there. So just really sharp. The first one is kind of a brownish tone. This is more of a reddish brown over here on the new one. It's a little bit thicker than the first one, so I think it has a few more pages. As far as size goes, they are 7¼ inches wide, 9¼ inches tall, so really nice size. This one over here, Volume 1, they did release a pocket size edition that is smaller than this. It's the exact same text, the exact same thing inside, but it's just a smaller edition. So originally, Volume 2 is just being released like this. So let me just show you what these look like when you open them up. So we'll start with Volume 1. Really nice look and feel all the way around. You see the title page there, Every Moment Holy. There's some great imagery in here. Even on the copyright page, they've written the copyright information like a liturgy, which is really great. I mean, you get the sense that the writer here, Doug McKelvey, has a sense of humor, and some of this stuff is kind of cheeky because you do get liturgies that are, for doing laundry and changing diapers and things like that. And so there's almost there's a comical sense to it in some ways, but also I would say that it's really thoughtfully done, really meaningfully done. It's got heart to it, and I really love that. So you see here, you just start with, this is the table of contents. There's liturgy for the hours. So a liturgy for daybreak, for midday, for nightfall. And then there's labor and vocation. So going to work, a liturgy for those who employ others. So if you want to just wrap your mind and your heart around being a good boss today. There's a liturgy for that, for students, for waiters, for waitresses. Liturgies of, here we go, there's 2 different liturgies for changing diapers, because some days you need 2, you know what I'm saying? Actually, I don't, because confession time here on this video, I am 38 and a half years old, and I've never changed a diaper. Here we go, and I don't have children, so that gets me off, sort of, but please don't bring me your children to change their diapers. Liturgies of creation and recreation. So a liturgy for arriving at the ocean. Think about that. You show up with your family to the beach, and you read this liturgy to kind of just put your hearts in the right place. I love that. Blessing and celebration, petition and provision, liturgies for sorrow and lament, liturgies of the moment. So here, liturgy upon tasting pleasurable food. I love this. It's really, the title is so apt. Every moment holy. It seems to me that Doug McKelvey has had experiences with all of these things, or he's written these for friends and family. And so it's just a really human, beautiful, lovely, it doesn't take things too seriously, but also really honors these moments of life. So here's a liturgy. It starts with a liturgy for writing liturgies. That's the writer right there. You also do get some of this imagery in here. So there's great, and then you can see the look on the page is really great. Some of them have a leader and a people section, so kind of like you'd have in a liturgical reading at church. Others of them are just written more like a poem where you read straight through. So you flip open these books. I'm going to open a couple pages here. So page 143. So here's one, a beautiful image, and it says, a liturgy for husband and wife at close of day. So whatever you've gone through today, whatever your marriage has tackled in today's world, this is a beautiful liturgy to read together, husband and wife, as you close the day. I think that's just really beautiful. Here's the one I mentioned in the intro, a liturgy for those who suffer from fire, flood, or storm. Part of me wants to read this to you, but I don't know that I can make it through, because it is so powerful and so meaningful, and you could just read this and I found reading these over friends and family in different times, or the loss of electricity. Man, there's just so many little moments, and it's a book like this that allows you to turn to the Lord in the mundane, everyday moments of life, in some of the ups and the downs, and say, Lord, I want to turn to you. And so here's one, this beautiful image right here, a liturgy for those who have not done great things for God. So that's volume 1. It's kind of covers a gamut of a bunch of different liturgies. Volume 2 is focused specifically on death, grief, and hope. And to be honest, some of the ones from the first volume that have been the most meaningful for me are the ones that kind of tackle those really difficult seasons of life. And so very similar setting up here. The contents, you see liturgies for a season of dying, liturgies for seasons of grieving. And so it's really focused on those 2 things and trying to instill some hope and trust in the Lord in the midst of all of those times. It's just so thoughtfully and beautifully done. And a liturgy begging the grace to accomplish what is beyond me. These are so beautifully written. Again, you get these moments of artistic artwork in the mix of it, and it's just really, really meaningful. I keep saying that, but here's one I wanted to show you. You have those days where you know you're going to a funeral, you're going to be there with someone who's suffered a great loss, and this is a liturgy before mourning with those who mourn. So to place your heart and your head in the space of saying, I want to step into this grief, to step into this mourning with my loved one, and here I'm going to tackle that in the best way that I can. A liturgy for the mourning of a funeral, things like that. Just a book that you can turn to in these seasons where sometimes words fail you, and it's got the words for you to press in, to trust the Lord, to care for others, and to frame our own hearts and our minds around what we're stepping into. Man, these books have been a really meaningful part of my life. I turn to them in different moments when I want that moment to encounter the holiness of God and to trust God with what I'm experiencing, and they've been a really great tool for that. And so, yeah, they're great. So there you have it. That's Every Moment Holy from Rabbit Room Press and Douglas McKelvey. I would love to know what you think about these, so leave me a comment. Maybe you already own one of them and you can share with us your favorite liturgies from these books and what they've meant to you. That would be awesome if you would share that. If you're interested in purchasing one of these, I will put links in the video description so where you can find them. And definitely, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content just like this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.